Cedar Mill had always been the heartbeat of the town. For decades, its smokestacks and weathered brick walls had defined life here. Families depended on it. Children grew up chasing each other through the surrounding fields, their laughter mixing with the hum of machines. The mill had been steady, dependable, a constant rhythm in a quiet town. Then one day, it was gone. The closure wasn't sudden, not entirely. Officially, they blamed economic decline, rising costs, and falling demand. Locals whispered of accidents, but minor ones, nothing that should close an entire mill. Still, the older residents paused whenever the subject came up. There were stories they refused to tell outsiders, stories that seemed to vanish the moment they were spoken aloud. Years passed. The town adapted. Shops closed, others opened. Children grew up and left. The mill remained, silent, like a wound that refused to heal. Then one crisp autumn morning, a new sign appeared near the main road: Cedar Mill reopens, hiring now. Hope surged. Jobs. Paychecks. Life returning to a town that had been slowly fading. People lined up at the gates, eager for work, eager to believe. But some older residents exchanged uneasy glances. They remembered the stories. The reopening seemed ordinary at first. The first few weeks were bustling. New managers, new equipment, new faces. Workers clocked in early, clocked out late. For the first time in years, the air smelled of sawdust and oil again. Children pressed their faces to dusty windows, watching machines roar to life. Reflections mingled with shadows, hinting at a history the walls still carried. Then the noises began. At first, they were subtle. Metallic clanging echoing through empty corridors at night. Doors creaking on their own. Whispering voices just beyond comprehension. Locals driving past reported hearing muffled screams, or footsteps moving across deserted floors. Dogs refused to enter. Cats hissed at invisible presences. Management dismissed it. Old buildings settling. Overactive imaginations. But by the third week, Thomas Reed disappeared. No one saw him leave. His locker was untouched, lunch still inside. When his absence was noted the next morning, searches revealed nothing. No footprints. No struggle. Just the hum of machines carrying on as if nothing had happened. Another worker vanished. Then another. Fear spread through the town like wildfire. Families held their children closer. Rumors turned into certainty: something was hunting inside those walls. Local police investigated, questioned employees, scoured the grounds, but Cedar Mill seemed to swallow people whole. One night, Martha Ellis, a security guard, stayed after her shift. Armed with only a flashlight, she moved through shadowed corridors. The building seemed alive under her steps. Water dripped somewhere deep below. Machines thrummed with residual energy. And then she heard it, the whispering. Low, pleading voices, calling from the central processing hall. She followed, heart pounding, flashlight beam slicing the darkness. At the oldest section, marked, "Do not enter," the whispers stopped abruptly. Doors slammed behind her. Her light caught movement in the corner. Thomas Reed. Or what remained of him. His eyes were wide, unblinking. His body bent at impossible angles. His mouth moved silently. Martha froze, then ran, screaming for help. By the time authorities arrived, he was gone. Only a metallic tang lingered in the air. Investigations intensified. Forensic teams combed the mill, scanned for evidence, and installed cameras. Nothing explained the disappearances. Footage often showed anomalies: workers vanishing mid-frame, machinery moving without contact, shadows stretching unnaturally across walls. Locals began to share stories long buried. A night foreman who vanished decades ago. Workers who spoke of the mill's heartbeat, a rhythm that matched no engine. Hidden rooms, secret shafts, forgotten mechanical traps. Some whispered that the mill itself fed on fear, on work, on life. Journalists arrived, cameras in tow. Few lasted the night. Ben Carver, a reporter, recorded the hum, the shadows, the sudden chills. By morning, he was gone. His car sat in the parking lot, keys in the ignition, empty. The town grew hollow. Parents forbade their children from approaching the mill. Workers refused night shifts. Even the most skeptical admitted hearing things, footsteps where no one walked, soft breathing in empty corridors, whispers that grew louder the longer you stayed. One evening, Harold Quinn, a retired engineer, returned. He had worked at the mill in the 1960s and knew its hidden layouts, service tunnels, and secret shafts. He claimed he could pinpoint where the missing workers were trapped. But when he entered alone, he never returned. Months passed. The mill emptied once more. Machines cooled, the hum faded, doors closed. Cedar Mill stood as a silent monolith, its windows like hollow eyes. Locals avoided it. Even near it, people felt a pressure, as if the air itself resisted their presence. Stories persisted. Lights flickered inside, even when no one was there. Shadows moved in impossible ways. Trespassers disappeared without a trace. The mill remained, waiting, patient, hungry. Some say it remembers. Some say it hungers. And those who still listen swear that if you are quiet enough, brave enough, you might hear it whispering your name. And maybe, just maybe, it will answer.